is Central Warriors football with Coach Ryan Whittington on the team.
And Warriors football coach Ryan Whittington, brought to you by the Rick Nelson Agency and American Family Insurance. For a free comparison, call this team of licensed professionals at 970-241-0078. Ryan Whittington joins us. Good morning, Ryan. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, Jim. How you doing?
Doing fine. You have to feel good. That was a really nice win by your team last Thursday, taking down Eagle Valley 34-0. And boy, the defense showed up. And Dom Colosimo, in particular, 80-yard pick six. Then he's like, you know what? I think I'm going to go 60 yards with another pick six. What a big night for Dom in that game.
Yeah, I thought, the defensive staff put together a great game plan because, Eagle Valley had a ton of really good weapons. So I thought our defensive staff did a really good job putting our guys in good situations to be successful. And then, Dom and I think 8 other people had a great night. So it was a good defensive team effort against a pretty good Eagle Valley team that can be explosive on offense at times. So I was really, really proud of how they responded, especially after the coming off a hard Junction loss and on a short week. So the way the kids were resilient and responded, I was really proud of that.
34-0 win over Eagle Valley. 9 takeaways in that game. Have you ever coached in a game where you've had a defense have that many force that many turnovers?
No, I have not. To be honest with you, I have. Usually I think the most I've ever had was like 6. So 9 was a little bit extreme. But again, just super proud of our kids, the way they handled on defense. The crazy part is there were so many turnovers that it almost affected our offense, where we could never really get in a rhythm because we were just turning them over so much and scoring defensively, that it kind of affected us offensively, that we never really could get in a rhythm and find our footing there. But, just again, proud of all of our guys, the way they competed on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, and you had Asher Carter, your quarterback. He picked off a pass. Also, Jaime Padilla picked off a pass as well. And those two also connected on a touchdown pass. So
yeah,
that doesn't happen very often, does it?
No, it doesn't. Like I said, it was a strange game, and there was really no flow to it. There was no rhythm to the game because there was so many turnovers that we caused. But yeah, I thought that we had some tremendous. Our secondary coach, Coach Norman, did a really good job coaching our secondary up, and we made a couple tweaks after the Junction game because obviously. We needed to make some changes here in a couple spots, and we did that and got some guys in, I think, better positions to help our team be successful. And we were able to do that and accomplish it on a short week, which was super proud of. And we had a good night, and glad to come out with a win and no more injuries. And now it's on to a totally different beast in Montrose.
Before we talk about Montrose, I want to get back to Asher Carter and Jaime Padilla because they really have developed some nice chemistry in your passing game. Kind of take us through that a little bit. Yeah, no, they have, Jim. I think him and Jaime have grown up together. They've obviously played a lot of football together. They have great chemistry. I think Asher really trusts him in our passing game. And Jaime, like I mentioned last week, he's such a good kid on and off the field that. He's a tremendous athlete that, really brings some explosiveness to our passing game. And they have a great connection. And along with all of our other kids, Riley Hoyt's a good receiver for us. And Dom Colosimo also plays another receiver. And, Caleb Motes can't be forgotten stepping in for Torrance Scott, who went down week 1. And he had a great week. He had 17 carries for almost 100 yards. So, just super proud of, the kids and how they're working. And again, they're continuing to keep their head down and grind, and we'll be better for it. Ryan Whittington, coach of the Central Warriors football team, with us. Now it's Montrose, and you mentioned it's a different animal in Montrose. It's the third-ranked team in the Colorado Preps poll. They had a bye week last week. They were coming off that one against Palisade, 35-14, where they didn't give up really any points until the fourth quarter, and they brought a lot of the backups in. And Elijah Womack had a big game. He had 4 touchdowns in that game. Aiden Grijalva is a lethal weapon when it comes to the running game. Brett Mertens just has a lot of weapons in that backfield, plus an offensive line with Andres Distel that is just one of the best in 4A football.
Yeah, not to take anything away from any of the backs, but the system is the system, and the system's tremendous. And Coach Appling does a tremendous job of getting his kids in the right situations and the right in the right, formations, and they've just run it so hard, and they have a tremendous size up front, and you can plug and play pretty much any back in that system, and they have tremendous success because it is blocked so well, and the coach does such a good job of putting them in situations to be successful. So we got to make sure that we're tremendously gap sound and find a way to, I don't think no one has shut them out, or we have to figure out a way to slow them down, keep them off the field, so that they can't get going. Because I think they're a real momentum offense where, once he gets in a rhythm and once he sees where you're at, then, they have tremendous success, and they've done it for years now.
And then flip it to the defensive side. That gets overlooked sometimes, how good they are on that side of the football as well, Ryan.
Yeah, again, like Jim, we've talked about many times, everything starts up front. And when you have the size that they do up front, it allows you to do a multitude of things on the back end, which they do, and they just play very sound. They play really hard, and they tackle well in space. So we're going to have a tremendous game plan to be able to get our kids, in situations that they could be successful in, and hopefully give us a chance to win on Friday night.
Ryan Whittington, Central Warriors head football coach, with us. And then you get to the other phase of it, which is special teams. They've scored some points on special teams and kick returns. That's going to be not trying to avoid those short fields because of the return game. That's going to be crucial for your special teams on Friday.
Oh, absolutely. Anytime you play these running teams, we talk about all the time is you got to win the field position battle, because if you're giving them short field, that just plays right into their hands. Everything's a 4-down territory then. So we have to do a tremendous job on our kickoff and punt teams so that we, flip the field and make sure that they have long field to drive, so that hopefully we can slow them down and get them in 3rd and long, 4th and long situations, so that we make sure they have to punt and then get it back to our offense, and so that we have a chance to do something offensively.
Injury-wise, how do you come out of the Eagle Valley game?
I think we're pretty healthy, Jim. I think after week 1, we were kind of decimated a little bit, but I think we've kind of rebounded and recovered and got some kids in some different spots. So I think, heading into this game, we're about as healthy as we can be right now, and just excited to, this is why you get into these, into coaching is to play these really good games and play these really good teams to kind of see where you're at. So it's, like I told our kids, it's a great measuring stick for our program to see what strides we've made, and we're looking forward to it on Friday.